Speaking of which, just want you to know.
Podcast Tonight presents The Culture Cafe with Will Love.
Well, that's what opening up a can of whoop-ass feels like. Son, you just opened a whole case of whoop-ass.
Take a listen to this.
The show is just about to start.
Here we go.
Are you ready to do this? Let's take it from the top.
It is not for the faint-hearted.
Happy October, homies. It's your favorite troublemaker, Will Love, and I am semi-relieved. So my podcast has been going on a month now, and I have to give a big thank you to all my guests last month. The world's top astrologer, Susan Miller of AstrologyZone.com, Annie Grammer, who I'm rooting to in Dancing with the Stars this season, Lisa Loeb, Scrizzly Adams, and Elisa Padilla. This month will not disappoint either. I'm kicking off tonight's podcast with a very attractive and controversial guest. Michael Lucas defies the status quo as an adult film actor, director, activist, and columnist whose work has appeared in The Advocate and Huffington Post. Often receiving praise as being one of the most provocative figures in his industry, I'm excited to welcome Michael Lucas to the show. Mike, how are you?
I'm well, thank you very much. How are you?
Good. I'm glad that our mutual friend, Fred the lawyer, was able to make this inroad because I love genuine success stories and you're definitely one of them. According to New York Magazine, you came to the city with basically nothing and now you have your own empire. Did you always want to work in adult entertainment or did you view it as a stepping stone for the activist work and powerful documentaries you are producing today?
I'm an immigrant. My English it's pretty bad right now, but it was really terrible. So when I was 23, so, I was very realistic and I decided that I will go to porn. And the reason is because, for example, I didn't have documents. I was a tourist when I came to Europe, and I couldn't really do much without work permission. So the porn was something I could do right away, start right away, and I realized on the second day of coming to Europe, to Germany, to be specific, I realized that you need a lot of money to stay there, to live there. So I basically found myself, I was a graduate from a law school, and I found myself in the situation when I had to forget about my education and start from scratch. And the second day after I arrived, I was already on the set that did my first production.
And you've been very successful at it. RuPaul, who is a good friend of yours, has called you a hero and feels you're very misunderstood. Do you feel that there is a stigma that comes with working in adult entertainment?
I think RuPaul, I know the quote you're talking about. I think RuPaul just referred to something else. I think this quote he gave me several years ago, and I think back then that was outrageous and controversial and which you can think things, but you don't necessarily want to spit them out. So
trust me, I've been there.
I received a lot of, there were polarizing opinions that other people were saying me they're mean and arrogant, and RuPaul, who knew me much, much better than, we were friends, Actually, he said that, hey, he's misunderstood. But it was nice that he said that his hero, and he told me that he came back to the industry after the long hiatus. He told me that he came because he was inspired by my story, which is so incredibly nice.
Wow. You definitely have an interesting story, and your documentaries alone, both Undressing is Real and Campaign of Hate, really shed light on two topics that gay media doesn't really give attention to: Israel's gay community and the LGBT persecution in Russia, which is where you're actually from.
That would be something what interests me as a hobby. I did not look at documentaries as a mean to make money, did not look at porn as a mean to change careers. It was just something I was interested and passionate about, and I decided that will be something I can afford doing now. You don't make any money producing documentaries unless you're Michael Moore. But this is a good service for community and for gay community.
Yeah.
Two very different movies. One is about the thriving community in Israel. Israel is a tolerant country to gay people, to LGBT people. And then the opposite movie, which is very dark, about very intolerant society, Russian society. And it's a very different story about Israel, which is where the Western progressive world is moving forward and where gay people can fight for their rights and win their rights in court and public opinion, to Russia, which is going backwards and where attitude towards homosexuality is increasingly worse and aggressive opposites. And that was interesting to me. Obviously, I did Russian documentary because I was born in Russia and I lived half of my life in Russia, and I struggled with being gay man there, and I know how evil Russian society is, and gay people being used there as a scapegoat.
True.
I'm Jewish, and that Israel is a very important country to me, and I became a citizen of Israel, citizen of Russia, America, and Israel. I decided to make a movie about gay community in Israel, how tolerant this society is, and how thriving community is. And I talked about the history of the fight for gay rights in Israel, and I showed what today modern Israel is.
I don't think people realize how far Israel has come with its acceptance of the LGBT community.
When I made a movie, when I made a documentary, Israel, it was 2 years ago, Israel was actually leading and was ahead of the United States. Now it's pretty even, and in America we have now gay marriage, which Israel does not have.
Do you find it difficult going from adult entertainment to producing documentaries, or because it is something you've always aspired to do, was it just second nature?
You think, is it difficult? No. Thing is, whenever you have some platform where you are known, you can do pretty much whatever you want with this. People know me because of my adult work. I got a lot of press for both documentaries, and it was not taken very seriously. So if I will not have a stardom at porn, I will not be known to anyone, and maybe I would make this documentary, but then it would be much more difficult to bring awareness. I'm very happy that I chose porn because I can do so many other things. That I have this porn platform where I can reach a lot of people that follow my career and my company. That made it all possible and successful. So I'm very grateful that I can do so many other things which are interesting and important. It always feels good to give something to society, and I'm glad that I have this opportunity.
Great outlook, and you really made use of this opportunity. You have an amazing career. You've had columns in The Advocate, Out Magazine, Huffington Post, Pink News, etc., and your writing regularly gets attention and sparks controversy.
When people talk things, it's good when we have a dialogue, makes people think, and it's good. America is all about different opinions, and that's great. Glad that people talk.
If people aren't talking about you, you're not relevant, and you have proven that. In fact, you have been the first celebrity to openly promote the use of PrEP. You really advocate for PrEP. Let's talk about it.
Young people that are not interested in stopping the epidemic and are not interested in defeating the stigma.
Yes, and that's what I wanted to talk about, the stigma.
I am determined to work very hard in eliminating the stigma, because there is a stigma which comes from fear. They shame people to enjoy sex, and that's terrible. PrEP, it's important to note, it is 100% protection if taken every day. How wonderful it could have been if PrEP will be available in ages when people were dying. I would say in the 80s that this is not a good discovery. PrEP is prescribed to people that are at risk, which is gay men that have sex with different partners. Insurance pay for that for PrEP, and so you only pay your deductible. People that do not have medical insurance get it for free. All you have to do is go to a doctor, to free clinic, like in New York, in Midtown, there is a clinic that is 2 blocks away from me in Chelsea. You go into the clinic and you tell them that you are HIV negative gay man and you want to go on PrEP. They take your blood sample, they send it to first they do 20-minute test, and right away they know if you are positive or negative. If you show as a negative, then they send the test to the lab and for a more detailed research. And then within a week, you're going to be receiving PrEP in the mail every 90 days. So every 3 months you receive 90 pills for free. And also in big cities like New York, now you have every 3 months free checkup to monitor how this PrEP, is there any side effects. I don't know anyone who has side effects. When you're HIV positive, you have no choice. So I would say it's better to be safe than sorry, and I think every gay man should be taking PrEP.
The problem is people try to twist it and say that if it becomes more of a mainstream form of care, people will be more promiscuous and have unprotected sex, and then view PrEP as being a safety net, which is not the case.
You should remember that 50,000 of Americans become seroconverted every year. Majority of gay Americans that get HIV positive are young people, young guys in the age range between 14 and 25.
That's scary. I'm young, and when you mention that statistic now, it makes sense.
Condom, as we see, just because of the statistic, is not an effective way to prevent HIV, and we need other ways, which is PrEP. Right now it's in the form of a pill, and in probably a year, it will be available as an injection, which you have to take every 3 months. Condoms, you don't always have them with you, and you never know when you will have sex. Condoms takes an effort to use a condom, and lots of people don't like using them. That's why we have 50,000 new cases. With PrEP, you are always protected. You have this protection in you.
Let's talk about PrEP now. I'm very selective with who I'm with nowadays, but a few years ago when I was going through a rough time, kind of my own downward spiral, during a random hookup the condom broke, I spent weeks and months worrying, precautionary blood work, etc. I did not know about PrEP, which is good for those emergency situations.
So if you had sex with a person who have HIV and doesn't know about it, or know about it but is not on medication, then you can go to your doctor or go to the emergency room, tell them that you had a protected sex, you might have been exposed or been exposed, and you will receive 28 days worth of medication, which you take for 28 days, and you significantly eliminate the risk of actually getting HIV.
So explain in layman's terms the difference between the two.
PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, PrEP is post-exposure prophylaxis, and I would not recommend to wait. And PrEP is not easy because the difference between PrEP and PrEP is one pill, one ingredient, which is toxic. It takes some time to get used to this cocktail of medication. If you are on post-exposure prophylaxis, then you go through quite a difficult months. I would say go on PrEP because you will not be exhausted, you will not have nightmares, it doesn't have those side effects that HIV medication and PrEP has, and you will be just protected. So it's a wonderful idea. It's a great drug. I can stress enough how important it is for gay men to be on this drug because we have 50,000 new cases every year. Only in the United States they start dating and they do not really ask, did you have a test? That often it doesn't work this way. You can never trust 100%. I don't trust myself 100%.
Exactly. Shit happens. Not to mention, it's best to be educated on all of this because people lie.
That is why it is very important to get tested. Once you get tested, you are no longer a danger to your health, to your own health, and you will not be able to give it to your partner or partners. So testing is the key. Testing is number one thing. I think in about a week I just filmed the commercial, the public announcement.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And I will go all over social media. It will be on lucasentertainment.com website.
I'll definitely be retweeting and promoting that commercial when it's out.
Thank you. It will be after our movies. And that's when I'm saying that that I am in the sex industry for 20 years and I'm HIV negative and I will stay this way because I'm on PrEP. And then I explain that PrEP is the pre-exposure prophylaxis, and if taken every day as prescribed, it will prevent HIV infection. It's going to be available about the weekend.
Coming off of that, having worked in the adult entertainment industry for so long, has it affected your personal life? Have you found it difficult to date because there is sort of a perception attached to it?
No, because I'm in the industry since 1995 when I graduated law school and left, and that was in relationships. Basically, over time, I've had four major relationships, and it was never a problem. Now, just Pornstar, but I am in business and I have corporate offices and I do business.
So then, do you almost feel like because you're on top, no pun, in your industry, and because people know you're already really good in bed, does it make everyone want to date you?
No. Not everyone wants to date you. But I do understand at the same time that it can be a problem. It's not for everybody. In fact, I think it's not for majority of people. I think it might be a deal breaker for majority of people. Yeah, that's so it's not like everyone would give a chance to someone who is in adult entertainment, and I get it. That's okay. If I could turn back time, I will do the same because it just gave me so much. it gives me so many opportunities. I owe my success, in porn.
What projects are you working on, and what can we expect from you within the next 6 months to a year?
I definitely will producing a lot. Company's growing. We have 15 employees. I'm not answering your question right now, I guess, but I'm very, very proud that I could come into this to this country. I could give back to this country because I could not succeed anywhere else as much as here in any other country. I lived in Europe and I lived in Russia, so I am so happy that I can give back and employ so many people and give them a really good life. I think I'm a good boss. I pay not only good salaries, and I pay medical insurances, vacations, and I pay sick days. I give all the holidays in the book. I also pay pension plan, rare in private businesses. I pay pension plan for every employee.
Oh, wow. Hire me.
That makes me very happy. I am 43 now, and I'm enjoying my 40s. I enjoyed my 30s, but I'm much more enjoying my 40s.
You really do not look like you're in your 40s, dude. What's the secret?
Thank you. I think it's because I'm a health freak. I think that helps. I never drank and I never touched drugs.
Same.
I do know what drugs are. A lot of people that died from drugs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think that's what it is. I think that I look maybe younger than some of my colleagues because of that.
Those are great tips. I mean, I eat healthy, I don't do drugs, but I do like to go out and get my drink on.
I think I do know. I do have addictive personality. Somehow I know that. I think I'm addicted to people. I had a lot of sex in my life. I'm negative. That's probably one of the reasons because I was always very much in control.
Your story is really the definition of the American dream. I really want people to take it in. You came here and you did it. You're at the top of your game. Lucas Entertainment is extremely successful, and you've been able to not only make an empire in the adult film industry, but have managed to carry that over into a prosperous career as a columnist, producer, and activist, which I give you major kudos for.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's good to hear. It was a pleasure talking to you. Or rather, talking at you.
Me too. I wish we could have done this in person. You, me, Fred should all go out into the city one night and just party it up.
Absolutely. I would love to. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, and good luck to you. And keep in touch.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure chatting. I'll reach out to you, and we'll definitely have to set something up.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. We'll promote it as well. You have a great evening.
Perfect. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Talk about a badass, and someone who does not give a fuck and should not. Major kudos to Michael Lucas. Thank you, Michael Lucas, again for taking the time out to speak with me, and thank you everyone for your downloads and for listening. October is definitely going to be just as good as September, if not better in terms of the lineup. So I'm really looking forward to this month. I'm pumped because September I had a ton of amazing guests. Thanks to all my famous friends and acquaintances for taking the time out to speak with me. Holla again to Susan Miller, to Andy Grammer, to Lisa Loeb, to Scrizzly Adams, to Elisa Padilla. You really made this podcast startup something special. We talk about everything. So if you have a stick up your ass, you might want to take it out beforehand. And as I wrap this up, I want to give a big thank you to my friend Elisa Padilla, the head of marketing for the Brooklyn Nets, the New York Islanders, and the Barclays Center. She hosted Ariana Grande at the Barclays Center on September 27th. I had amazing seats. Me and one of my BFFs, Lance, really enjoyed the show. I had eye contact with Ariana Grande the whole night. If you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/willofeinc, you could see it all for yourself. So much fun. Thank you, Elisa, again, for not only the interview, but for hooking me up to see one of my favorite artists. And thank you, Ariana Grande, for putting on such a kick-ass show. So until next time, dudes and chicas, peace out, much love, and party hard, but be safe. For more information about today's guest, head to michaellucas.com, and for more information about PrEP, head to whatisprep, PREP.org.
You've been listening listening to Culture Cafe with Will Lowe, presented by Podcast Tonight.